Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. Um, for me, it's morning, so I want to say good morning, but I know most of you guys watching, you're about to head to sleep, but it does not matter. Let me give you a quick update on what has happened with Bitcoin within the last day, right? Obviously, a lot of you guys watched my video on the street last night. But since then, we have seen Bitcoin come up a little bit, and there's been major developments with the FOMC meeting and this potentially huge Fed pivot, right? Let's talk about it. The US market today, Dow was green, NASDAQ was red. Like I said in that video from yesterday, we may see some volatility. That's what we're seeing right now. Wall Street's kind of mixed, not knowing how to anticipate the cut that's coming. That's ultimately what it comes down to, right? They're unsure if this is going to be good or bad, or or maybe if there's some surprise, right? Look at this. Elizabeth Warren is now calling for a 75 basis point cut, right? No one is talking about 75 basis point. We're talking about 25% or 25 basis point, 50 basis point, but she's asking for 75 basis points. She's just like, yeah. We have seen Elizabeth Warren make some crazy demands in the past. None of it has ever come to fruition, so it does not matter. But what is kind of shocking is this. You look at the probabilities now, we have a staggering 67% calling for a 50 basis point cut, right? Up until a few days ago, it was still like below 50%. Now it's at 67%. Majority of the people out there and analysts are anticipating that Powell needs to cut and cut a lot, not 25 basis points, right? So if we get a 50 basis point cut this Wednesday, and then we get 25 basis point in November, December, that's one full percentage point. That is massive. Now, there are some people that think if Powell goes too aggressive, like this 50 basis point, some people think this will cause markets to actually sell off because it will show to many that the economy is in a much worse state than it appears. That could be the case. There could be a chance of that. However, I don't think so. I think this Fed pivot, sometimes you don't want to overthink things. I think the Fed pivot and a 50 basis point cut overall is going to cause markets to react positively. Okay, we will see. We will see. But um yeah, we don't have to wait much longer. Just a few more days until we get this. Like I've been hammering on this for a while. We've been waiting 4 years now. For 4 years, we haven't had a cut. And now we are going to, and we will drastically bring that Fed fund rate down, which will bring the prime rate down, and it will bring loans and everything else, mortgages, everything is going to start coming down, right? And that will trickle into next year. And of course, that is the most bullish year for Bitcoin because it is a year after the halving event, right? And that is why guys like Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy continues to buy. They're offering another 700 million. I mean, if you think about it, Michael Saylor is like a madman at this point, but that's what he can do. People always question before, why would you buy MicroStrategy over Bitcoin? Or why would you buy MicroStrategy over a Bitcoin ETF? This is the reason why. Because he could continue to raise more and more and more money to buy Bitcoin. He just got done raising $3 billion just like a few months ago. He just purchased another like $1+ billion. And now he wants to raise another 700 million. Guess why? To buy more Bitcoin. That's why, right? Absolutely madman, but in a good way. And of course, we have miners now that are doing the same thing. Remember, Mara just did the same thing, raised $300 million and bought Bitcoin with it, right? And there are many others like MetaPlanet that's doing the same thing on a smaller scale. I mean, he started something that a lot of companies are now looking to do. right? Especially ahead of 2025, the most bullish year of this cycle is coming. That's why so many are loading up and stocking up, and that is the right move. Even countries, another country, Bhutan, has accumulated close to $800 million of Bitcoin out of the blue. No one even knew this. No one saw this. We know El Salvador has been DCAing. We know that, China, US, Russia have been accumulating as well, or at least confiscated, and that's their way of accumulating. But now you got like Bhutan all of a sudden coming out with $800 million to the Bitcoin, right? That's a surprise, but also not a surprise. I'm sure there's many other countries out there that have started and we just don't know about it. So that's why it's a surprise and not a surprise. But the last few things I'll end up with that I want to share with you guys are these charts, right? Basically, these charts are showing that this is a great time to be loading up. Great time to be loading up. New whales, okay, are buying. Old whales are still holding. That is great. M2 supply is coming up. That is great. When the global liquidity starts expanding, that means the money is going to start flowing. That's great. That's really, really great, right? And if you look at something like the MVRV momentum, you could clearly see that it is coming back up, flipping up to where we want. We want that momentum, right? And it's coming back. Ultimately, all these are showing that it's a great time to be in Bitcoin. It's a great time to be loading up like what some of these guys are doing, right? Because we have some great, spectacular things to look forward to. Bitcoin's fundamentals have never been stronger. The hash rate is at an all-time high. The number of whales accumulating, all-time high. The number of companies and countries accumulating, all-time high. On top of that, the global liquidity is starting to come back up, and we're going to have a Fed pivot. These are all super bullish things. So get ready, guys. Stay strong, stay focused, and just let the gains come to you. Continue to hodl, continue to DCA. There's really no other strategy that you need to implement. Just have patience, stay strong, and accumulate. That's simply it. All right, that's it for this video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. I will do more of these throughout this week while I'm here in Singapore, and I'll be filming, the city and the conferences and showing you guys more of what's going on over here across the world. Yeah, across the US. It's like directly opposite of the US. All right, have a good one. Bye bye.